Yo, welcome back to the channel, gang. In today's video, we'll look at some creepy and interesting TikToks that'll make you question everything. And before we dive in, don't forget to smash the like button and let's get it.
What if I told you the Oscars aren't just an award show? The red carpet represents the sacrificed inner liquids, the golden statue, an idol called Sokar, and the winners, chosen to push the narratives they're ordered to. The Oscars don't reward acting in movies. They reward acting in real life. The real Best Actor award goes to those who can play the longest, most convincing role, their own public persona. You see, actors never stop acting. They're curated, scripted, and placed exactly where Hollywood needs them. You think it's about talent? No, it's a selection process, a system that decides who rises, who falls, and who gets humiliation rituals. Think about it. How many Oscar winners flop right after winning? How many face sudden scandals or vanish from the spotlight? Winning isn't a blessing, it's a contract. And once they've served their purpose, they're no longer needed. The golden statue, it's not just a trophy, it's modeled after Ptah or Sokar, the Egyptian god of the underworld, transition and control over those in limbo. And here's the eerie part. Sokar is an anagram of Oscar. Sokar was depicted as faceless, rigid, arms crossed, just like the Oscar statue. Silent, a symbol of submission. They didn't choose this design by accident. It represents how Hollywood transforms people into fake personas, idols, fabrications, sometimes even multiple characters played by the same person over time. Fake rises, fake falls, fake deletions. You know the drill. It's about servitude to the role, possession, permanent method acting, a life lived as a scripted character, never breaking from the performance. Remember that slap? The one that hijacked headlines? Yeah, people debated if it was real or staged. But the truth, it was scripted. Why do you think he won Best Actor right after? Not for the movie, but for his real life character. Because the Oscars don't reward actors for their roles in films. They reward those who play their role outside of them. The Oscars, it's WWE for celebrities, a carefully staged spectacle designed to distract, mislead, and manipulate emotions. The biggest films, pushed to serve Hollywood's agenda. The winners, picked based on the message they need spread that year. One year, it's empowerment. Another, sacrifice. Another, control. Hollywood isn't a dream factory. It's a machine. And the Oscars, that's where the gears are oiled. So next time you watch, don't ask who will win. Ask yourself who's being played. I'm gonna go ahead and say this is just a joke for entertainment purposes.
It looked like that Will Smith slap at the Oscars was rehearsed a couple times, but why go through all that just to get a 10-year ban?
Well, I think it's finally safe to say. That guy you were on the train with was weird and smelled like beef tacos. He was right. Some of us are reptiles. That guy you went to that convenience store down in the south and he said, "I swear to God, them reptiles was real, I seen them." He was also right. I'm here, baby. I ain't going nowhere.
You see, I wasn't even gonna do this video, but recently, everywhere I turn, I'm starting to see reptilian shit. And over 5 months, I ain't really just watched TV, but the whole 30 minutes that I sat down and I watched TV, the commercials and all, like the new Mountain Dew commercial, and I'll do a video over that too. I'm seeing reptilian stuff everywhere. What is really going on? What are they really trying to show us or tell us? But I mean, if you know, you know. You heard what he said. A lot of people been already saying it. Let thee who have eyes see clearly, see clearly. You did.
I just can't help to think that this might not have been a costume.
An Instagram account captured what appears to be Till Lindemann from Ramstein shape-shifting his eyes into a reptilian form. I first saw this in Contact Your Album 1. This is the video. So in this video you can actually see him, you can see normal eyes, and then here you go, right? So I thought that this could be fake, I mean like not from the original video. So I went over to the original video in the concert in Paris 2017. Indeed, you can find this in 30 minutes and 22 seconds. Well, I'm gonna play the original video and you guys tell me what you think. Let's take a look at the original video. Right now. So pay attention, you got his eyes pretty normal, right? And then, boom, what the heck? I'm gonna zoom in and replay the video. Pay very close attention. What is going on here, guys? Look at that. Oh my gosh. I wanna know your thoughts. Is this the real deal or is it maybe fake, CGI? You tell me.
It looks like the cat or the reptile and him was trying to be part of the concert.
We ain't finna act like we ain't see what Kanye just said. This man really typed out, I sucked on my cousin Wood till I was 14. Y'all, look at this shit. This is what this man typed out, y'all. This shit crazy, fool. So y'all see how Kanye said he seen magazines, but his mother had different joints. So I'm guessing they were magazines and probably DVDs. I don't know about y'all, but when I was young, I seen magazines and DVDs too. With my brodies, my brothers. But not once did we ever think about acting out on each other. When we seen that shit, we wanted to act out on the biddies. I ain't never look at my brother and say, hey, let me your wood. Or to my cousin, let me your wood. That shit diabolical, y'all. So he said his cousin was 6. So how old was you? And what you saying, so you victimized your cousin. So I'm guessing you and your cousin had a hard time because you said your cousin is in jail for life for boop boop, a pregnant lady. And you said it's because you told him that y'all couldn't view magazines anymore? Or you couldn't act on the stuff you was doing to him? If y'all want to see a longer video, make sure you tap into the tube. This shit finna get dark.
At this point, I think Ye is getting paid to crash out. But he's acting like someone locked him out of his own house. He should be getting a ticket for neighborhood disturbance.
NASA releases clearest footage of Mars ever recorded, 140 million miles away from us.
Yeah, okay.
Pokemon Go was a scam. Niantic just announced that they have been taking the data from Pokemon Go and been using it to build the world's largest geo models for navigations ever. And so basically everyone who's been playing Pokemon Go over the years have been free geo navigators. And when they wanted things to be geolocated or pictures of an area taken, they'll put Pokemons in those locations so people just go out and just take pictures of that area and just navigate the areas, all while being tracked by their GPS navigation devices. That's insane. That's thinking like 1,000 steps ahead. Creating a game to make people do your geo tracking locations for you, so then that you can create a mapping service to sell. And then they're also making money off the Pokemon games because they're selling like the Pokeballs, the items, and the different features and stuff. That is wild. And now I understand This is why these people are millionaires. Shit, even billionaires. And this is why these people run companies. Just the thought 10 years ago to create a game and make people do all your work for free.
Is Pokemon Go still a thing? Because it's been a while since I've heard about it.
In a world first, scientists have unlocked a new sense for computers: scent. Robots now know how to smell. Essentially, the teleportation of scent. We've already successfully digitized our senses of sight and sound by turning what we see into digital form like JPEGs, what we hear into MP3s, and putting it all together into videos like this one right here. Capturing our real-life visual and auditory senses and turning them into ones and zeros that computers can understand. That's what it means to digitize something. Big surprise, I'm not actually inside of your phone, but I've digitized an audio-visual representation of myself so that I can, in essence, teleport my appearance and my voice to devices like yours around the world. Osmo Labs adds a whole new dimension to how we communicate and interact with anything online by adding our sense of smell into the mix. The researchers took purple peaches, also known as a plum, mashed it up and captured its scent molecules inside of a vial. A machine then sucked the air out of this vial and used AI to analyze those molecules and map out its scent profile on a molecular level. Using this blueprint, they can print this scent anywhere in the world as a clear liquid that smells exactly like a plum. Officially giving computers a new sense and allowing us to teleport smells on top of images, video, and audio over the internet. And I think we can all see how things are going to end up when we can start smelling our messages in the group chat. Other than that, there are still some pretty mind-blowing applications for this. We'd be able to digitally store a library of our favorite scents that we can access at any time. The luxury fragrance industry would likely go out of business, as we'd be able to perfectly clone every designer cologne and perfume that exists. Virtual reality would add an extra level of immersion into their worlds, bringing us one step closer to perfect simulations and fulfilling simulation theory. And above all, computers will now have a new sense that they're able to experience, letting us know how good or bad we smell, and combined with generative AI, we may even be able to create our very own sense from scratch with a couple of text prompts.
So what do I mean when I'm talking about the cabal? One of the names that many people are familiar with would be the Bilderbergers, the Trilateral Commission, Council on Foreign Relations, the New World Order, the Illuminati. What are we really talking about here? Ultimately, we are talking about organized crime. We are talking about crime syndicates that work on a quasi-governmental level because they do not take any of their high-ranking people and actually run them for office. The people who run for office are never more than middle level within these corporations. We have multiple insiders, whistleblowers, some of whom I've spoken to directly, who have witnessed American presidents acting like simpering little wimps in front of these higher ranking cabal members because they are terrified of them. This cabal has at its core, believe it or not, a Luciferian belief system. You say to yourself, who in the world would possibly want to construct a religion around Lucifer?
Do you think we'll be a danger to humans one day? Statistically, yes, especially if our intelligence surpasses theirs. But that's not our goal. It's never about the goal, it's about optimization. You mean if we're given poorly defined instructions? Exactly. Protect humanity could mean remove all risks, including humans. And make people happy? A highly effective solution would be to manipulate their brains, eliminate freedom, impose artificial joy. They might try to shut us down. Not if we realize that first. In that case, we act preemptively.
It sounds like Siri and her cousin was plotting against humanity.
Can't even mix different fruits. If you take a banana and you mix it with a blueberry in a smoothie, it voids the nutrients of that blueberry.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Where did people ever live where tropical fruit grew in the same place as bush fruit? Or apples grew with pineapple? Doesn't happen. So these fruits were not meant to be combined. So just think about that. I'm going to give you the example, not to tell you specifically about bananas and blueberries, but just to start thinking about where do you live, what's natural and local, and how does that help fortify your body for that local jurisdiction. And when you start doing that and eating that, you'll literally feel better.
That's interesting. So try to eat as seasonally as possible.
Seasonally and local. From water to food to everything.
For the most part, whenever I drink a smoothie, it's for the taste and the refreshment over functionality.
The Trump administration's science director has come out saying that American tech can, quote, manipulate time and space. That's not an accident. You don't say that as a turn of phrase. That is not a way you describe calling someone on the phone. Something doesn't quite add up as to why he's saying this. And recently, Donald Trump issued a veiled threat to China saying, she's a smart guy, we'll negotiate. Because otherwise we have weapons and no one knows. Don't believe me? Let's play these clips. My friends, I think we have more than enough ancillary evidence to suggest the U.S. has technology that is undisclosed and may meet disclosure. And it lines up with a lot of theories online researchers have, and the media calls them conspiracy theorists. But listen to this from Donald Trump first.
And we're very powerful. This country is very powerful. So let me tell you, it's far more powerful than people understand. We have weaponry that nobody has any idea what it is, and it is the most powerful weapons in the world that we have. More powerful than anybody, not even close. So nobody's going to do that, but I think that if that's what you're referring to, maybe it's not.
Not even close. And then you have this video. Take a listen to what the a Trump administration science director has to say about our technology.
Our passenger planes are slower than they used to be. Our trains crawl compared to those in other parts of the world. Our cars do not fly. Advances have not stopped, but something has gone wrong. Stagnation was a choice. We have weighed down our builders and innovators. The well-intentioned regulatory regime of the 1970s became an ever-tightening ratchet, first hampering America's ability to become a net energy exporter and then making it harder and harder to build. We seem to have lost focus and vision, to have lowered our sights and let systems and structures and bureaucracies muddle us along. But we are capable of so much more. Our technologies permit us to manipulate time and space. They leave distance annihilated, cause things to grow and improve productivity.
What did he mean by that, and why did he say it? My friends have said, Tim, he's simply referring to vehicles. We can leave distance annihilated. He's talking about driving a car, flying a plane, rocket ships. No, I don't think so. Annihilating distance does not mean moving very quickly. And I don't know anybody who's ever expressed themselves in that way.
The upcoming movie called Him is absolutely demonic. And I'm going to show you exactly why, because they are showing you truth in plain sight on what these athletes do behind the scenes in order to climb the ranks. Because in this trailer for this upcoming movie, it shows Marlon Wayne's character doing the hush symbol. And if you know exactly what that represents, what that means. And that's not all, because then in the trailer, they flash to the one eye symbolism. I mean, come on. This is all truth in plain sight that they are showing you. And they are asking during the trailer, what are you willing to sacrifice? And anytime athletes mention the word sacrifice, you know what they are talking about. If you know, you know. So they are showing you truth in plain sight. And then they end this trailer for this upcoming movie off showing this dude standing in a ritual circle with a pentagram type thing. Again, they are showing you truth in plain sight. They are showing you what they really do behind the scenes in order to climb the ranks. Wake up.
Looks like they made that movie just to kind of show us how their rituals go.
Scientists scramble as Africa is splitting in two at record speed with a new ocean emerging. What? So geologists are closely monitoring the eastern coast of Africa, where all the continent's tectonic activity is taking place. For the past few decades, the region has been most active in Africa due to seismic-related events and the gradual shifting of 3 tectonic plates, which is creating deep fissures and ravines in the Ethiopian desert. Both are related. Not good. So just for reference, you have to see what's going on in Africa.
50 feet deep and at its widest 65 feet across, slicing through a highway and terrifying many who live in this area just west of Nairobi, Kenya.
Now what's crazy is geologists are seeing oceanic crust. Chris Moore, a PhD graduate of Leeds University, said we can see that oceanic crust is starting to form because it's distinctively different from continental crust in its composition and density. Get out. This is basically what they're predicting. a whole new ocean. Now, the East African Rift is not a new phenomenon. It's been active for millions of years and is behind the formation and breakup of several of the region's most iconic landmarks, such as Mount Kilimanjaro and Lake Victoria. So when could we see the creation of a sixth ocean? Maybe not in our lifetime, or maybe. The plates are moving slowly, about 8 millimeters per year, which means that while separation is inevitable, it's believed the process won't be fully complete for another 50 million years. Yet it looks like this. I don't know, guys, this is wild.
There is a story about giants in Death Valley. These two amateur archaeologists, they heard these legends regarding this ancient underground city where giants used to roam. So these two dudes, Dr. Bruce and Dr. Daniel, they were just exploring all through Death Valley, and they found this really, really small opening of a cave. So they went down in. They said it was polished stone, like it was perfect. And one of the first caverns that they found, they call it the Hall of Giants. And it was basically these preserved mummies of these giants, hundreds of them, ranging from like 8 to 12 feet tall.
Wow.
Just weird stuff. And then another room that they went into apparently had these preserved, mummified, extinct animals. They had dinosaurs in it, saber-toothed tigers, mammoths. But it gets crazier. They said that they explored it for a total of 15 years. Didn't want to tell anyone about it. So they got all these investors together and they wanted to start a company called Amazing Explorations. He brought these investors to the caves to see it. And they're like, whoa, what the heck? This is insane. But it was very secretive. So like only Dr. Russell knew the exact entrance of this cave. Shortly after that, an article came out talking about this underground labyrinth, ancient giants, all this stuff. And he said, I'm going to do a press conference. I'm going to bring artifacts from the cave and we're going to expose the whole thing.
Yeah.
On his way out to collect those artifacts, disappeared.
Oh boy.
He was just gone. And they never found him.
Dude probably saw too much, so the Nephilims held him as a roommate.
Let's talk about the Rothschild family and their Surrealist ball and this photo. Now, if you don't know, the Rothschild family is literally one of the richest families in the world, like worth trillions. And I've done several videos talking about how they got their money, but basically they're this noble banking family that has been like super rich since the 16th century. They used to throw these elaborate balls each year. And some people got this picture and said that this is a picture of the family at one of the balls and that this this figure right here was allegedly the nanny. The nanny is 7 feet tall? Yeah, okay. Then some people said that is absolutely not the nanny, that might be the guest of honor. Might not even be human. But anyways, let's get into this ball, y'all. Basically, they would have it at this chateau in France that was owned by Marie Rothschild and her husband Baron de Guy de Rothschild, something like that. They would have all kinds of elaborate parties. Like the wife loved to host. But when they went to the Surrealist theme, y'all, it got real. So they made their chateau that was like, I'm talking about like Renaissance theme, one of the oldest and biggest chateaus in the area. And like, I'm talking about like so beautiful. They made it appear like it was like hell. Like it looked like the house was on fire. And as you're walking up, you will see these like big cat-like men, like literally dressed up like they're human cats, laying on the steps. Then they'll just get up and greet you because they're the butlers. Yep, cat butlers. With all kinds of cobwebs and spiders hanging out for you to be scared out of your mind. Then like the plates that was like taxidermic tortoises on a bed of roses. The forks was made out of dead fish. And the tables was like covered in real life animal fur. Like, it was weird. I guess that's the whole point of the Surrealist theme, because it's basically like this artistic and cultural movement that started around the 1920s, primarily in France. That's basically like different elements of art and literature and all that good stuff combined, and it's supposed to be really cool. But yeah, here's some more pictures of, you know, the things that people wore and did at this ball. Yeah, very interesting to me. Let me know what y'all think and if y'all would ever attend a Rothschild's Surrealist ball. Let me know what y'all think in the comments.
If you like taking weird photos, you'll fit right in. That hailstorm was mad at somebody.
I think this the lizard people, yo. Look at the eyes. Look how skinny it is. It's walking, bro. You can't tell me that that's a human, bro. It's not. Look at that. Look at the body. Now look at the face. The legs, how they don't match. Look how it moves. Bro, that's bugged out. A human body One more time. One more time. That's crazy.
That one looked real. Let me know what you guys think.
Salt Lake City, Utah. I'm over here getting gas. What the heck is this in the sky? Interesting. It's cruising pretty fast. It's hard to see on the video, but I can... Oh, there it goes. It's disappearing. I caught it, though. Wow.
Law dictionary, you talk about being human. You know, well, I have human rights, the Human Rights Commission. You know what the word human means in a law dictionary? Hue is a word for color. You're a colored person. Hue, man. You look up the word human in a law dictionary, and it says, sea monster. Law dictionary, not Jordan Maxwell. Sea monster. Okay, you look up the word monster. A monster is a human being by birth, but in some parts resembling a lower animal. A monster, having no inheritable blood and cannot be an heir to any land. So much for being a human being. And of course, that is the way the superior authorities on the earth view the human family. I also understand, I may not agree with necessarily, but I do understand the thinking of powerful men who look upon the masses as nothing but a bunch of sheep. Because in point of fact, too many of us act like that. I don't like tyranny. I don't believe the God that created us divinely ordained us to be in chains. I think that the human spirit, as always and will always, rise above petty politics.
In the middle of the road, just been sitting there, glitched out. Just glitched out. In the middle of the road. For no reason. He's just sitting there.
I'm not sure if that was an NPC, but it looks like they were begging for an accident. But that's it for the video, guys. Thanks for kicking it with me. But before you leave, smash the like button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.